Hello again. Welcome to Watch Vocabulary Reading 4. 大家好，我是朱淑清，欢迎收看智慧与阅读室的第3课。Today we're joined by Dr. Jane Lewis. Hello, Jane.
Hi, Shu-Ting. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here again today. And I just want to say, I think it's really exciting what you're doing now, using more English without translation on this program.
That's right. I hope our students can get used to it.
I think it's really helpful to train their ear.
Right, because we learn English by English, not by Chinese.
Every language is that way. So this is fun working with you like this.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for being our guest. Jane, today in this unit, we're going to talk about what causes loving feelings. Where does love come from? Jane, do you think love is a feeling, science, or perhaps both?
Wow, that's a powerful question. I'm a scientist. It's very hard to imagine how to study love with science. Wow, let's find out what your unit says.
OK, 这一课呢，我们最主要来探讨爱情到底为何物，什么呢会让我们有想要恋爱的感觉呢？在来看课文之前 ，Let's take a look at some keywords. 请先看相关单字 vocabulary.
Exhilarating.
形容词，令人振奋、高兴的。
The latest performance by the Cloud Gate Dance Theater was exhilarating.
云门舞集呢，最近的演出精彩绝伦。
Chemical.
Chemical 可以当名词或形容词，是化学的或是化学制品。
The government is investigating chemical contaminants in food production.
政府呢正在调查食品制造所含的化学杂质 ，chemical contaminants 就是化学杂质。做调查我们可以用 investigate 这个字。Next.
Behavior.
名词行为，我们常会用到动词 behave。
Children were rewarded for their good behavior.
小孩呢会因为他们表现好而受到奖励 ，reward 就是给予奖励或者是颁奖。Next.
Scan.
可以当动词或名词审视或是做扫描。那 scanner 呢就是扫描机、扫描器。
Antivirus software can scan your computer to detect viruses on your computer.
防毒软体可以扫描侦测电脑中的病毒，病毒我们就说 virus。发现病毒呢，就是 detect virus。
MRI, magnetic resonance imaging.
这是一个医学专有名词，就是所谓的核磁共振造影。核磁共振。
Neutral.
Neutral 形容词是中立的。
Switzerland is known as a neutral country.
瑞士呢是一个中立国。
The peace conference would have to be held in a neutral country.
和平会议呢必须在中立的国家举行。
Reaction.
名词反应，动词是 react。
There is mixed reaction to the smoking ban in public places.
人们对公共区域禁烟呢有不同的反应。
Gratification.
名词满足喜悦，那动词呢是 gratify， 形容词也常看到，就是 gratifying， 很喜悦的。
The practice of yoga can transform your heart and bring you a sense of gratification.
练习瑜伽呢可以改变心灵，并带来喜悦。改变我们用 transform， 就是从一种变成另外一样东西。有部电影叫 Transformer， 变形金刚。That's from the word transform， 从 transform 这个动词来的。Next.
Crave.
动词恳求需要。
Many women have a craving for chocolate.
Craving 呢名词也是常见到的，就是有这种欲望，很想要。很多女性呢都很喜欢有那个想要吃巧克力的欲望。
Security.
Security 是名词，安全或是保障。那 secure 呢就是形容词。
All banks adopt proper security measures. Systems. That's systems.
所有银行都采取必要的安全措施。Security system 就是安全的系统或是安全措施。Next.
Bond.
Bond 是名词，连结或是契约，那也可以当债券。
People who have similar interests or work tend to bond with one another.
凡是有类似兴趣或工作的人，通常会聚在一起，就所谓的物以类聚。那 bond 这个字刚刚有讲到可以当债券，那这一阵子碰到很多联动债的问题啊，但是联动债的债券并不是 bond 这个字，是叫 structured note， 这是联动债。Next，
tolerate，
动词容忍忍耐。
We should not tolerate corruption and fraud in government.
我们不应该忍受政府的贪污 corruption 或是 fraud 就是贪污就不好的事情。All right, after the study the important vocabulary, let's read paragraph 1. Jane, could you read paragraph 1 for us?
Sure. For centuries, people have been wondering about the question, what is love? To try to understand what love really is. When we develop a liking for someone, we have an exhilarating feeling and emotion. Is that so-called love? Does love purely derive from humans' emotions or the chemicals from our body? What causes the feeling of love and behaviors of love? Scientists have been searching for an answer to these questions. A researcher, Helen Fisher, at Rutgers University, along with other researchers, has conducted a study using brain scans to investigate what is associated with love.
All right, how about some questions for this paragraph?
Okay, maybe just one. What technology did Professor Fisher use to study love?
I think she used brain scans.
Brain scans.
To do the investigation. Yep. 这一段呢，讲到人们不断的探讨爱情为何物啊，不断的问这个问题。那科学家也很有兴趣要了解到底爱情为何物。那科学家当然是用比较科学的方法来做探讨，所以用的是一个那个核磁共振电脑的扫描，来看看到底人谈恋爱会有什么样不同的反应。All right， 那在做研究、探讨、寻找一个答案这个段有用到片语 search for， 或是也可以用 look for 这个字，就是寻找 search for， 或者是也可以用 look for 来代换。Okay, let's look at other vocabulary and phrases. 来看这一段其他的单词与片语。
Century，
名词世纪。
The teachings of Confucius have influenced the Chinese culture for centuries.
孔子的教义影响中国文化数世纪。
Derive from，
由什么而来？源出于，这是一个片语 derive 常会跟 from 一起用。
Many English words are derived from Latin words.
许许多多的英文字源呢是来自于拉丁字。
Conduct，
动词引导、实施或是指挥。
Without an agenda, it's difficult to conduct a meeting.
会议如果没有议程呢，便很难进行。Agenda 就是议程。All right, now it's about time for the break. Welcome back. Let's read paragraph 2. Jane, please.
In the study, there were 32 participants who were madly in love. The researchers put them under an MRI brain scanner. Before the scan, researchers asked them questions like how much time they think about the person, and whether they would be willing to die for their loved one. They also showed pictures of their loved ones and presented them with other distractions to compare the difference between heightened states and neutral states. These researchers found that more brain activity in many brain regions happened when they thought about their love. They also found that those who scored higher on the love scale had more brain activity than the others. They found that when people are in love, their brains are more active, like the reaction of having cocaine.
All right, now this paragraph talk about the study. Do you have questions for us?
Sure, this is jam-packed with ideas. How about this one? When people thought about the person they madly loved, what happened to their brain?
I think it showed on the MRI machine that they were actually more brain activities when these people thought about their loved ones.
Yes, more brain activity. And this activity was similar to what other situation?
This kind of activity happened also when people had a reaction to a drug, cocaine.
Cocaine. Interesting.
Alright, 这一段呢讲到海伦费雪这个研究教授呢他所做的研究，这个研究呢他是把32位在热恋中的情侣透过核磁共振造影呢扫描，来看看如果说他们在想到他们所爱的人呢，他们是一天花多少时间呢？那甚至愿不愿意为他们牺牲生命，愿意做什么事情，我们可以用 be willing to 这个片语。另外呢还给他们看他们爱人的相片，还掺杂一些让他们分心的其他的图片，来比较脑部在受到刺激的情况下跟比较静止中性的情况下的差异。那研究发现他们的思绪在爱人身上的时候的脑部区块就会有多处的反应，但是呢另外还有在一个爱情量表呢得分较高的也有类似的情况，这种反应就好像嗑骨科碱嗑药一样的反应。Alright, let's take a look at some vocabulary and phrases in this paragraph.
Distraction.
名词分心 distract 是动词。
The use of cell phones is a big distraction for drivers.
驾驶人开车呢使用手机会分心 so drivers should use earphones or better yet they should just park their car and talk.
Or not talk on the phone at all.
That's right. Next.
Heighten.
动词增加或是变高。
Security units heightened alert ahead of elections.
在选举前呢，维安单位提高警戒。Alert 就是警讯、警戒。那 election 是选举。那在文章中呢，我们有看到 heightened state 就是很亢奋、很激动的情况。Neutral state 呢就是很一般、很平静的情况。Next.
Region.
名词部位或是地区。
I have a pain in my lumbar region.
我的腰呢，腰椎部疼痛。Next.
Cocaine.
Cocaine 其实是是中文我们叫骨科碱。It's a kind of drug, but it's illegal. It's a bad drug.
It's a stimulant.
Right. Right. All right, now let's continue. Let's read paragraph 3. Jane, please.
Sure. From the study, Fisher learned that romantic love is not an emotion, but a drive from the brain. She says that love comes from the motor of the brain, the craving part of the brain, of the mind. She has come to believe that there are 3 brain systems associated with love. The first one is the sex drive, which is the desire for sexual gratification, just like the craving for food when hungry. The second one is romantic love, which is an elevation of joy and obsession at an early stage of love. Finally, the third system is attachment, which comes from the sense of security with the partner and the bond between the two. She thinks that the third system has evolved to let one tolerate another person long enough to raise children.
All right. How about some questions?
Okay, here's a big one. According to the research, is love an emotion?
No. From the scientific point of view, love is not an emotion. It's a drive.
A drive.
A drive from the brain.
Great. And the other one, she says there are 3 brain systems associated with love. What are these 3 systems?
The 3 systems include, I think the first one is sex drive.
Sex drive.
The second one is romantic love.
Romantic love.
And the third one is the attachment, which comes from a sense of security.
Attachment and bonding. Right. Good.
Right. 这一段呢，讲到爱情，到底是情感呢？单纯的情感还是一种科学呢？在海伦费雪的研究上发现，浪漫的爱情呢，其实不是一种感情，而只是脑里面的动力。那爱情呢，包括有 想要占有的有控制欲。那有关于爱情呢，其实是脑部有3个系统。第一个呢是第一种系统呢就是一个性欲的渴望，好比饥饿想要吃东西的那种欲望。第二种呢就是浪漫之情，就像刚陷入情网的时候感觉到无比的喜悦与着迷。最后呢是一种依附感，那是从终身伴侣上会得到的那种安全感跟归属感。那这种感受呢让人能够忍受够长久，久到足以想要共同抚养小孩。It's very interesting.
It's an interesting perspective. I never heard this before.
All right, now let's take a look at vocabulary and phrases. 看一下这一段其他的单字。
Elevation.
名词海拔，动词是 elevate.
The elevation of Taiwan's Jade Mountain, also known as Yushan, is 3,952 meters.
玉山海拔高度是3952公尺。
Evolve. Evolve.
动词释出或者是发展。
A simple plan evolved into a complicated project.
原本简单的计划呢，衍生成一个复杂的计划。Complicated 在这边就是复杂的、困难的。Now let's move on to paragraph 4. Jane, could you read paragraph 4 for us?
Great, I'm looking forward to seeing what this says. Although there are 3 systems involving romantic love, according to Fisher, the 3 systems are not necessarily connected with one another. One can feel deeply attached to the other, but at the same time develop intense feeling for another person. She thinks that people are animals built for reproduction, but it still lies in people to search and make happiness and good relationships.
All right, so what about these 3 systems? Do you have questions?
Okay, the first question, these 3 systems, are they always connected?
Not necessarily. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah, okay. And she says people are animals specially built for what?
I think for reproduction, for having children. Lots of children. In fact, I think we need more children in the world.
Not everyone will agree, but people have that opinion, right?
All right. 这一段呢，讲到海伦·费雪提出的浪漫爱情的3个系统呢，其实这3个系统不一定会相互作用啊。They are not necessarily connected to one another. 一个人呢，可能同时跟终身伴侣有共度一生的感觉，但是同时也有跟其他人有强烈的浪漫之情。So people could be married, but at the same time, they could have an affair with somebody else. 所以有可能已婚的人士呢，还是有可能会发生外遇的，就是这个原因。因为不见得对某些人承诺，就不表示他不会对其他人产生感情。那为什么会这样子呢？因为在费雪认为呢，人类其实基本上就是传宗接代的动物，但是不过呢，好是在幸福呢，还有好的两性关系需要靠人们自己去开创啊。那 attach to 就是属于附属的意思。那我们刚刚有讲到 reproduction， 那 mass production 我们在前一课有讲到，就是大量制造。re 是一个字首就是再一次 reproduction 就是传宗接代再制作。好，譬如说像其他的，如果配其他的动词呢，譬如说 do 做什么事情 ，redo 就是再做一遍。那 read 读什么东西，再读一遍就是 reread。那取一个名字，我们说 name， 那加上 rename 就是重新命名。All right, let's look at some other words in this paragraph. 看一下字卡其他的单字。
Okay. The first one is connect.
动词连结是使得有什么关系？名词是 connection， 形容词是 connected， 相关联的。
Most cell phones can connect to the internet now.
大部分的手机呢，现在都可以连接到网络上。Jane, how about your cell phone? Can your cell phone be connected to the internet?
It could, but I haven't arranged that service yet.
Me either, because I actually just use the phone for talking. I don't even use it for taking pictures.
I have enough internet in my life without making my phone my internet too.
Right, but I know students are crazy about cell phones with, the photograph functions and also the
Browser.
connection to the internet.
Yep, browser, email, yep.
All right, I think it's another time for a break. Let's
Great.
take a break.
Okay.
Welcome back. Jane, after reading this chapter, what do you think about this reading, this text?
I think it's great that you picked this one here for the English lesson because it's so fresh, it's very real, and I think it connects to everyone's life. This idea of science connected to love, maybe I have some different opinions than her, but I really enjoy reading this. It's stimulating.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have a balance of romantic love and also some science, some facts about love.
Very provocative.
And I think we learned some interesting facts about what love really is.
From her perspective, and she's got some evidence to support it, so very interesting.
That's right. Now, after reading about scientific point of view, let's see what people, real people, people in society think about what love is.
Great.
Let's take a look at some videos.
Love is the most important thing in the world, but Valentine's isn't necessarily the true representation of what love is. Okay, and romantic love is very important, and I think that's. But I think people have false expectations about love, and that may be the cause of the high divorce rate. Is the false expectations about love, and subsequently about what marriage should involve. My true definition of love would be to actually make your feelings part of the other person's feelings, so that you feel what they feel. When they feel pain, you feel pain. When they are hurt, you feel hurt. When they feel joy, you can feel joy. So love is a sharing. The basic definition of love is a sharing of feelings, and then wanting the best for the person or persons that you love. And love obviously isn't confined to just a man and a woman. There can be love between people and almost strangers, because you should love your fellow man. You should love the human race.
What do you think about love and Valentine's Day?
Well, I have a boyfriend now, so I think it's fabulous.
It is. It's a nice time to remember that you need to express, your love, to show your significant other that you do care. Because I think a lot of times you get so busy in your day that you forget to tell the person that you love them.
What do you think about love and the expression of love?
I love it. I would never have it go back to the way it was before when I was single. So I love being in love with my wife. I can't imagine anyone else.
Love for me is always something I've been chasing after, and I understand that I found it in my husband's, marriage. But I think the key thing is that you can't just talk about love. You have to really implement it. Meaning you have to tolerate and make compromises. So love is also about friendship and family.
All right. There are some great points of view about love. Good definitions. So what do you think, Jane?
How about we take a little bit of time to reflect on this videos we just saw, just kind of remember what's in them and maybe appreciate it, because there was a lot there.
Right.
Okay.
Great
How about
idea.
I ask you some questions and just relax and answer? How about that?
Sure, bring it on.
Okay, first question is, what people do you remember from the video?
Well, the videos were short. I remember all of them. It's all very interesting. But the first one, the first person mentioned love, not just about romantic love. There's also brotherly love. So it's not just romance. There's actually love for the human race. I thought that was really interesting. And the other two...
The first one was a man, right?
Right.
Okay.
And the other two women, I think one of them just had a boyfriend. She just seemed so exhilarating. She seemed so happy.
Maybe the early stage of love.
Right. It's just wonderful. And the last one was a couple. They seemed so in love with each other. There's just so much love there. That's wonderful. And I think it's interesting, one of them mentioned that you really have to work it on your love, on your relationship. So it's not all that easy.
Great. And so we're just playing with remembering. What are some words you remember from these videos? Just whatever words pop to your mind.
Okay, interesting. And that's also a good way to review vocabulary.
Could be, yeah.
Love.
Love.
Expectation.
Expectation.
Or false expectation.
False expectation of
Divorce.
love. Divorce.
Marriage.
Marriage.
Well, marriage should come first, and then divorce.
Okay, but just
Hope
whatever
that
one you
will
remember.
not happen.
Okay.
Joy.
Joy.
Hurt.
Hurt.
Express love.
Express love, right?
That's so far what I could think of.
Let me think if I have any to add. I do like the false expectation that you already said that. Joy, right? I remember the last video, he said, I would never go back to the way it was before.
Right.
Yeah, those are another
before
word
he
that
was, he got married, before he was a single man.
Any other words we remember? That's about it for me now. Anything else you remember? Words?
That's probably
Okay.
about what I could remember.
Let me ask you your reaction when you saw these videos. Was there any place where you felt surprised?
It was just interesting. I did think about, it did remind me of an experience that I have.
Your own life.
Right.
What was that? What was that?
It's one of the Valentine's Day. You know, Chinese people, they don't usually express love. Like my
Really?
parents never say they love each other.
Not every morning, good morning, I love you. They
Never.
don't say that. Never.
Never. They never say they love me.
Even you.
Right, but I know they love me. So one Valentine's Day, I wrote a letter for my father to my mother, and wrote another letter for my mother to my father.
So you pretended you were your mother writing a letter to your father.
That's
and
right.
You also pretended you were your father and you wrote a letter to your mother.
Right, and they were really happy. They were really touched.
Oh, wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's just like one of the people says on the video, we often are too busy or we're too shy to express our love, but I think we should tell other people we love them, and we should do that more.
Otherwise, how will they know?
That's right. All right, the first theme of the book is all about love. We have studied in the first two units the Western Valentine's Day, and the second unit Chinese Valentine's Day, and this unit we talk about the scientific points of view about love. In the next unit, we're going to talk about something more concrete, not so romantic. We're going to talk about food. 下一课呢，我们会谈比较实际一点的主题，就是食物。Thank you, Jane.
Thanks so much. It's nice being here.
Thank you, and thank you for watching. See you next time.
Bye.